Howdy folks. Well, today is Wednesday. Yesterday we framed this wall, which is almost 60 feet, a couple inches shy of 60 feet. And we framed it in 4 sections. You can see I've got some pipe clamps up there. My friend Pete knows that I like pipe clamps because I want to squeeze that lumber tight and get some nice screws in there. Close up some of the gaps that you see right there. I've done the screwing over here and you can see these are nice and tight. Over here, which is the west side of the house, just by way of reference, this is the east side. These 2 bedrooms, or these 2 windows are in the bedroom. And looking at the lake, we'll have a set of 6-foot windows and another set of 6-foot windows. They'll be like those 2 openings, and they'll be looking out at the lake. There'll be a wall in here. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right here. Right here will be the wall for the bedroom. That'll be the bath over there. That's what that big double window is for. There'll be a walk-in closet, probably about here, 16 feet away, and it'll go out about 8, 10 feet, I guess. Anyways, I want to give you a little story on this wall. This is the wall for what we'll call the living room. Now, this big piece of lumber that's doubled up, that's what they call an LVL. You can see that right there on that board. Laminated veneer something. But it's 1 3/4 inches wide, and we're going to have 2 6-foot by 32-inch windows here mulled together, and then we have this big support post, and that's all glued and nailed, and tonight I'm going to screw it because I'm a little paranoid on just nailing things. But this is another 6-foot by double 32 windows, double hung windows. These are 2 stationary windows in there and 1 there. And what we'll have is we'll have the fireplace in between them, and above it there'll be a spot where we can put our TV if we wish. Otherwise we can put our TV on this, what'll be the garage wall. And so we'll run bookcases, from about here all the way over to there, for books and knickknacks and stuff like that. Now, we built this morning, and John had to scold me a little bit because my cuts, all of these studs that go from the floor to the top, those are all pre-cut, the same size. But then when you get into things like this or this, anything, this board here isn't, those 2 boards, see, they stop and support that header, that LVL. I was apparently a little bit crooked on my cutting, so he showed me a little trick with the square, and things were went a lot smoother. But that wall it was 16 feet, and you can see right at the top of that stud, you can see the seam right there, and that between the top plate, or that plate, and then so we had that's where we lifted that wall, and that was our first wall. We did that before lunch. We go to lunch about 11 because we start at 7. And Linda was over, and so Linda and John and I lifted that. And I'll tell you what, I strained my milk doing that. That was tough. Anyways, John made a call then to his wife, who met us for lunch at Culver's. And on this second 16-foot wall, it was Linda, John, John's wife, and myself lifting that. And that was a lot easier because it didn't have that big LVL. See, it just has 2 little ones. Those LVLs go over the windows, and they provide support so that you don't, so that the wall won't sag above a window or a door. Now, Carol is John's wife's name. We had taken this and broke it up into 4 16-foot sections, and let me tell you, that was a hell of a lot easier to lift. Well, number one, we had a 4th person, and number 2, we didn't have that big, heavy, doubled up LVL in there. Tomorrow, we're hoping to get the back wall all up, so that'll involve 2 sets of double hung windows down there that'll be 6 feet high. And over in this area, there'll be 6 windows, so 3 sets of double hung 6-foot high windows, 32 inches wide. In the middle here, you can see how John lays this out. You see the X's and the O's, and that'll signify where the tall studs go, which are the X's, and the O's are those shorter ones, those cripples, they call them. Those 2 there, that hold up that LVL. So he has this whole wall marked out. Now I'm not sure exactly why he marked it out here, because this 27 foot area is the family room or great room, whatever you want to call it, upstairs. That will be our view out onto the lake from the family room. And from the bedroom. And so we're having some trees taken out down there so that they don't get too big and that they don't block our view. Something else that's going to happen here is when you're in the living room and you look out, that's what you see. So we're going to have some trees either removed or pruned back so that we can get nice views. Well, that's it. Today, like I said, was Wednesday, September 6, 2017. It's about 5:30 at night. John worked until 5. I'm going to work on screwing some more of these areas around the windows, because I want those nice and tight. I got that one, and that one to finish, as well as over there, but that'll probably take me to 7:30. Got some news today on our trusses. They'll be delivered September 22nd. It's a little later than what we were hoping for. But in the meantime, what we'll do is we'll get all of our exterior and interior walls set. Get our load-bearing points set. I'm not sure if we'll frame out the garage at the same time. But once we get these things done, normally people will put the sheathing on the outside of their studs when they're lifting it. But because we don't have the manpower or the woman power, what we'll end up doing is putting our sheathing on now that the walls are up. And just like you see over there on that house, you see how the concrete block is. It's sort of, the siding comes over and then steps down. We'll do that. We're going to try to have, so we'll have that step down. And we're going to try to get as close as we can to the ground, but also so we don't end up rotting whatever siding we have and the like. So that's it. This is a long video. I apologize for that, but hopefully it was interesting, and if you listened to it this long, it must have been. Bye.